What is up? What is up? How's it going? Happy Victory Monday!
Victory Monday!
Kind of a weird Victory Monday. We got my man C-Mac. We got my man Vlad. It's Victory Monday. How's everybody doing? It's a bittersweet day. Trey Lance, we got updates on Trey. We got a lot of updates on the rest of the team. And we got some stuff to talk about today. But yeah, real quick, Vlad, how you doing? C-Mac, how you doing? Welcome to the show. C-Mac, how you doing? You're finally here on the YouTube, man.
Hey, it feels great to be here. The setup looks amazing. What you've done with the joint, kudos to you, Raj. It looks great to be here. I appreciate the invite. Here we are after a Niners win. Let's go.
Let's do it, man. No doubt. It's good to have you on here. Vlad, you're like a normal here now. How's it going, man? How you feeling, buddy?
Dude, it's Victory Monday. I think we're tied for the division lead, or we're gonna, it's our division right now, Niners division.
Because we have the NFC West, like we have the division win, so we're tied for first. But how you feeling today on Victory Monday?
It's weird, right? We lost who was supposed to be the future of the franchise, but we got the dub. It's weird.
It is a weird day. I mean, we do have some updates on Trey, so let's get to those real quick, and we'll talk about Trey. I feel very bad for Trey. Again, yesterday he broke his ankle. He posted this to his Instagram and his Twitter. This was him after the surgery. He had successful surgery, throwing up the twos, and he has the cast on his foot. He broke the ankle, but he's in good spirits. He's smiling. That's the thing I love about Trey. He's a happy young man. He's always got his head held high, and I think that he also posted this message for the Niner fans. Let me post this. He says, "I consider that our hold on, let me take this comment off." He says, "I consider that our present sufferings are not worth us comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us." He goes, "Truly appreciate all the messages and prayers. Surgery was a success, and I'm ready to attack this rehab process. We will never understand why, but I trust that it is all part of his plan, and I will be back better than ever. The chapter is going to make the story even greater." So, shout out to Trey Lance. Head held high, man. He could be sulking. I'm sure he's, going through his emotions. I'm sure he was sad yesterday. I'm sure he was upset. A big injury like that. You go through your emotions and the process. But, head held high today. Successful surgery. I'm happy that he had a successful surgery today. And day one starts today. It's going to be a grind. This is not an easy injury. And, he's a mobile quarterback. So any type of injury like this, you question, will he ever get his mobility back? And it's a long grind. And again, they did have the insurance policy of Jimmy Garoppolo, and this is why they got him. But it's like, it feels weird because you're like, you didn't want to use that insurance policy. You wanted to be there just in case. And in the second game of the season, they had to cash in already. And it's just like, man. And again, it's a weird feeling. And we got to move on from Trey this season, and hopefully he, has a good rehab and it goes well and there's no setbacks and he could come back next year. But the unfortunate thing is he did lose a year of development, and it's something he didn't need. So we'll go around you guys. What do you guys think about Trey? How you feel? It is nice that he did have a successful surgery. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, for one, just the post that tells you what kind of kid Trey is. Kyle spoke on it yesterday that when we talked to Trey, after the game, one of the first things he said was that Trey asked what happened on a few plays before he got injured, what things that he could have did differently. It's just it's a mentality that Trey has, a humble young kid. He's just wanting to grow. He wants to learn. It's so unfortunate. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Watching the game yesterday and seeing him carted off, it was hard to cheer that we dominated Seattle. You know what I'm saying? That's a team that we've struggled with at home, a rivalry in recent years, and it took a lot out of me just to watch the game. It's like, man, this year was so crucial for Trey and his development. He sat behind Jimmy the first year and learned what he was, learning behind Jimmy, how to be a leader, things like that. And then he got his opportunity this year. He got the keys to the car. And, man, just to go out like that, there was a lot of, emotion with it. I was, we're really high on Trey. We love Trey. We love his potential, his ceiling, the kind of kid that he is. It's just so unfortunate that, he's going to miss a crucial year of development. So, my thoughts and emotions on it were intense as the rest of the Niner community. But he's gonna embrace the rehab. You can already see with his post today. He's gonna embrace it. He's gonna come back. Hopefully, he's gonna come back stronger. I mean, Dak had a pretty nasty injury. He's been mobile as well. He did get hurt again with a hand injury, but Dak came back. He was able to be mobile. So yeah, prayers up for Trey. Hope to see him real soon next year in 2023 as QB1.
Yes, QB1. And one thing you mentioned is he's going to be able to rehab and come back. He has that mindset. But I feel like physically he'll be okay because he's young. He's 22 years old, and physically his body will rehab. The one thing I worry about is mental because he did go through a lot before this injury. He had to take all the media hate, Colin Cowherd, all the people, Mike Martz coming for his neck. The video last week, the Make It Rain video, people were criticizing on that. Just all off season, he was getting criticism dealing with Jimmy Garoppolo and the whole, he's not ready. And then this happened. So mentally, this is going to be a grind for him. And I hope mentally he's in a good space. That's what I really want for Trey. I know physically he's going to attack and he'll rehab. I have dealt with a lot of people at his age coming back from major injury and they physically do well. It's the mental. So Vlad, what do you think, my man?
I mean, I think it's true. Like, I feel so bad. Like, felt sick to my stomach yesterday. Like, 22-year-old kid. Like, why'd you do him like that? I don't know if he, like, I get it. I get it, bro. I want him to come back and live up to the potential and everything else. I'm just being realistic about it. He hasn't played a full season since 2019. He's not going to be, if he comes back 100% next year, which he won't be 100%, takes you 24 months to get 100% physically, where you're ripping and you're planting for real on your feet, takes you a while. So let's say that happens. If you think that he's going to be the QB1 next year, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind if you think that after this dude just rehabbed his foot, hasn't played a game in over a year, you're out of your mind if you think they're just going to give him the keys to the franchise. Jimmy's going to get an extension. He's going to come in here again next year, probably a 3-year deal. That's what I would tell him if I was Jimmy. I'd be like, I want 3 years, fully guaranteed money. And he's going to come back in here and he's going to be the starting quarterback. And it's going to be up to Trey to prove that he's healthy enough and capable to do it. Because, listen, we all love him. We all saw the potential in the kid. But he's a Division II quarterback from North Dakota that they threw 3 first-round picks on. He hasn't played a full season since 2019. These comparisons to Josh Allen started over 40 games in college. What are we even talking about? I'm upset with the way Kyle used him and the way he stood at that podium with a smirk on his face saying, what's the big deal? He's a running quarterback. When just a few weeks ago in a press conference, he said, well, he's not Lamar Jackson. And what kind of fool would use a quarterback like a running back? And then fast forward, he buries the kid. That's what I get upset about. Because if he got injured on an end around or he got injured scrambling out of the pocket, that's one thing. You're calling option plays when Debo's not on the field, so he's going to hold the ball. It's stupid stuff. That's done. It is what it is. To think he's going to be able to come back in and just start next year as the QB1, you're nuts. It's going to be Jimmy, just like I said this offseason. I said it this offseason. Jimmy's going to start and win games for the Niners in 2022. Jimmy G is going to start and win games for the Niners in 2023.
I don't think that's a hot take or a bold take. And I know a lot of people in the comments are like, whoa. We talked about this off camera before we went live, and I kind of said, I have a feeling that Jimmy might be back next season. And I know it's crazy to think right now, but this whole situation has been crazy. Nobody thought they were going to trade up to go to the number 3 spot. It happened. Nobody thought they were going to take Trey Lance. It happened. Nobody thought Jimmy was going to start last year. It happened. And then nobody thought they were going to keep Jimmy Garoppolo this year. And it happened. And now Jimmy is playing with house money. He has nothing to lose, absolutely everything to gain. Every game he wins, he gets $350K in incentives. And he's going to play with a chip on his shoulder and hunger inside him. He's going to go out there and play his ass off. And if he does, the Niners are going to be like, well, imagine if they win a lot of games this season, which they can because they have a very good roster, right? Super Bowl roster. Now imagine they go to the NFC Championship or the Super Bowl, whatever, deep run, whatever. Trey Lance is going to be coming off an ankle injury. After this offseason, every single person in the media said he's not ready, he's not ready, he's not ready. He may not be ready next season to come back and start away because of the issue, the injury. Like, I know the reports are saying he's going to make a full recovery, and that's great. But making a full recovery from an injury is a different set than coming in and playing quarterback, because then he rehabs. He's not going to be working on getting better and developing and stuff. He's going to be working on rehabbing, making sure he can be in a game. And then once he's done, he's got to go back out there, training camp. Hopefully he's there and all that stuff. The reason they got the reason they got Trey in the first place was they needed an insurance policy for Jimmy Garoppolo, who was probably the most injury-prone quarterback known to man at the time. But now they kept Jimmy Garoppolo. And if Trey Lance is your quarterback one next year, or if he's on the roster and, he's your future, whatever, and he just had this nasty injury, do you think that they won't have an insurance policy for him again? They did it this year, so they're going to need an injury insurance policy. And the best one is Jimmy Garoppolo.
Jimmy.
So it makes
Jimmy's
sense.
Going to be here.
It makes sense, Vlad. What do you think, C-Matt?
Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So if it gets to that point where Jimmy G is looked at as possibly a QB1 in 2023, what are you doing as the front office? Shanahan right now, to me, is on the hot seat, and he should be. I'm not saying he is. He should be. The way we were running the ball yesterday, picking up chunk yardage with Jeff Wilson and Ty Davis-Price, I understand that fans are like, well, Trey's a mobile quarterback. That's one of the reasons you drafted him. Listen, Trey is a mobile quarterback. He's a mobile quarterback when you need him to be. If the pocket collapses to extend plays, then yes, Trey, use your legs. Do what you got to do. To run a quarterback draw right up the middle, and I watched the Bears do that last night with Justin Fields against Green Bay on the goal line to score a touchdown. He took a quarterback draw and ran it up the middle and got stuffed. I mean, I understand the game's changed and quarterbacks and everything has changed, but it's like, what are you doing? And last week, we all talked about it personally in the group chat. Why are we setting Trey up to fail in these situations? Last week, Roquan Smith, with all his body weight, landed on Trey. I'm surprised Trey got up from that. The amount of times that he got smacked in week one was insane. And I said it in a post. I said, if you expect for Trey to be out there thrown around like that for 18-week season, 17 games obviously, you're crazy. He's not going to last. And what happens in the first quarter? You run the quarterback draw, in which you don't need to do. And I get it. Again, he's a mobile quarterback. But our running backs were picking up yardage fine. Chunk yardage. We're not talking about 1 or 2 Trey Sermon type of yardage. We're talking about chunk yardage. So to put Trey in that situation, I don't understand what Kyle's thinking. Kyle has said it many times. Trey is a pocket passer first. We want him to sit back in the pocket, dissect the defense, and throw it. Trey said that many a times. He wasn't in here to be a running first quarterback. He wants to sit there and dissect the situation. Kyle has created this situation, and John really, of dividing. We got Trey Lance fans and we got Jimmy G fans, right? It's a clash. And it's unfortunate because on Twitter and social media yesterday, Jimmy G fans were, Jimmy G's back. Here we go. Gonna win games. Trey Lance hasn't even got a fair shake with the Niners. And the reason for that is the front office. And it's really unfortunate that the leadership up top has kind of created this mess. Honestly, I mean, I get last year, I was for it. Keep Jimmy, have Trey, sit, watch, all for it, man. Let it happen. Until it didn't make sense no more, for me, again, was at the Tennessee game last year. At that time, it's like, all right, man, you know what? You got to give the keys to Trey soon. If not this season, definitely in 2022. The whole thing happened with his shoulder surgery. Couldn't trade him, couldn't move him. Quarterback drama in the offseason. Niners are the talk of the town. And there you are giving Jimmy another chance with the roster. And I get it. Like, people are like, yeah, great insurance. If Trevor gets hurt, he comes back. Because what Kyle did to RG3 just set Trey up for the same thing. RG3 never was the same quarterback. Never. And the way he used him and ran him is the same thing that he just did with Trey. and set him up for it. And for that alone, you should be on the hot seat. Now, one amazing play caller, amazing offensive coordinator. The guy's got a losing record as a head coach. And again, I'm still okay with Shanahan as the head coach right now. But he is definitely, to me, should be on the hot seat. Should be. It is tough, man. The way you set up Trey and how you have, and this whole dramatic offseason, Trey hasn't even got a fair shake. I feel bad for the kid, one. And now here he is out for the 2023. I don't know. It's a complete conundrum from the top down and the way they handled this whole situation. It was a blunder, man, and I feel sorry for Trey.
Yeah, I agree with what you said. And this is some of the stuff we mentioned last night. I think the chat agrees with you. I mean, you got to realize, like, this is Kyle's dilemma. He put himself in this. He's helped this team do great things. Like, I know because there's going to be people that watch this and say, oh, my God, you guys just hate Kyle. You hate Kyle. We don't hate Kyle. We know he's done a lot of things. We know he's better than Chip Kelly and Jim Tomsula. Like, we get all that. But there are things you have to kind of look at in terms of a body of language in your career and your resume. And, he's gotten to the top of the mountain and he couldn't scale it all the way. He gets close, but he can't get all the way over the top. And he does these little things. Sometimes he overthinks a lot of the time. Play calling, decisions and personnel. Like, these are the things. And I know there was a comment here from Pete. He says, oh, well, Trey played the same way in college. Stop blaming the coach. But there is a sense you have to look at it and say, okay, did that in college.
That's the whole point of being a coach.
And he was bigger than all the players in North Dakota State. Now he's in NFL.
Yes.
He's not bigger, faster, stronger than everybody. So you have
middle linebackers are much different.
Yeah.
It's also that's your job.
You got to take his attributes that he had and his strengths and tailor it to your offense. Like, there's some things he can do that he did in college and run, but you can't exactly go out there and do the same exact thing because the people in the NFL are bigger, faster, and stronger than Trey. And Trey said it himself last week in his press conference. He goes, what they said, what is your difference now and in college when you're running? He goes, I'm not the biggest, fastest, strongest guy out there. You can't just run over people. And you got to know that. Like, outside runs is fine. And I don't mind if Shanahan was going to use Trey to run the ball because that's what we wanted, a mobile quarterback. Remember, all offseason we were like, oh, man, he's going to bring that dynamic to run and scramble a little bit. And that's what we want, like Lamar Jackson, Russ Wilson. We see it all the time. Kyler Murray. Like, we want a guy that extend with his legs if you need to. But we want a guy that can drop back, throw, make the deep pass, throw in between the numbers and just get those tight window passes. And that's what we wanted. We didn't really get to see Trey throw a lot. When Jimmy came in, they started throwing the ball more. So it tells me that in my eyes, my opinion, this is just my opinion, I feel like Kyle didn't trust Trey 100% yet to make those throws yet. So he used them as a gimmick player. Like, okay, he's going to run the ball a little bit. We're going to do these plays. Because, you hike the ball, boom, and then he just runs up the gut. Like, it just tells me that you're not 100% confident he could drop back, make the read, and make the pass. So I feel like Kyle still wasn't 100% sold on him, and that's okay if he wasn't, because that's just him learning the offense, gaining his trust. But I feel like, last year in Arizona, we saw with the same thing, 16 rushes, and he was getting pounded. Last week against Chicago, 13 rushes, and he got hurt a lot, And unfortunately, he had this run play, and, it was kind of freak acts. Obviously, these injuries happen, but it was just one of those plays where you're like, man, why didn't they let another running back run it? Or why didn't – I know it was an option play, but most of the time the quarterback's going to keep that option. And it's just tough that they didn't let him rip it a little bit more than
exactly.
I thought. But he is young again, and I think he's going to be able to rehab. But again, to me, the biggest issue is going to be mentally. Mentally, is Trey going to be able to bounce back from this? Because this is a tough injury, and again, he dealt with so much drama this offseason, man, and that's just something you got to realize, that he went through a lot of drama through his tenure here so far. He's only been on this team for 2 years, and he's faced a lot of drama as a quarterback, a lot of adversity. So, Vlad, I know you had a couple points you wanted to make. What do you think? What do you got?
Yeah, I think Kyle knew he was going to hold the ball. I think Kyle knows that Trey thinks he's the super athlete. I think that's what a lot of it is. Kyle said it before, and Fred Warner said it in an interview. He tells them to hit certain guys harder to get them ready for the season. You know what I mean? That's why you asked a couple weeks ago. I think we were on Instagram Live C-Mac, you're like, why are all these guys injured all the time? Is it the trainers or whatever? No, it's because Kyle tells them to go harder on certain dudes. So I think he knew Trey was going to hold the ball, and he was like, cool, you want to hold the ball? Go get laid out a couple times, and maybe that will get you to give it to the running back instead of holding the ball every time there's an option. I think that has a lot to do with it. I think he kind of I don't think he was planning on him to get injured, but I think Kyle was hoping that a couple of hits would get it into Trey's head, that he's got to stop holding the ball. He's got to get rid of it. He's got playmakers all over the field, so use them. I think that has something to do with it. There was a comment with, oh, well, if Kyle's on the hot seat and you're going to move on from him, who do you replace him with? Simple answer. Sean Payton. Guy's been there before. He knows what he's doing. He won't crap his pants. So, and if that means he needs his own general manager, guess what? Those 3 first-round picks that you gave up.
Yeah, but so, I think Raj said something big too. We haven't seen Trey like let Kyle letting Trey let it rip.
Not gonna.
How are you gonna let the kid develop?
You're not gonna.
You know what I'm saying? That's not good development. If you're not letting him throw, bro, he made a couple of throws against the Bears last week that Jimmy, and again, it's not to create a Jimmy versus Trey thing, but Jimmy would dream to make the type of throws that Trey had made last week. You have to let the kid let it rip. You got to let him make these throws, attempt to make these NFL throws if you want to have him develop. And I get the whole scheme of incorporating, I guess, Trey into the run game, but not like that, bro. Like, not like that. We didn't need him to make running plays like that. And somebody's saying that, oh, that's what he did in college. Again, it's faster. It's more competitive. These guys are crazy athletes. They're freaks. You're not running up the gut with your quarterback. It doesn't make sense. And just development-wise, you can't hold the kid's hand. You know what I mean? You need to let him throw, let him rip, let him make reads, let him make mistakes. And I seen it today. Somebody made a comment. Maybe it was Colin Cowherd that said they went from a teaching year now all of a sudden to a winning year. And it's
Yeah. Colin had a lot to say. I want to talk about Colin. Go ahead, finish your thought.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, that could make sense because Jimmy has won games, and we've had Jimmy go to a Super Bowl, NFC Championship, whatever the case may be. But you invested in Trey. In what year is it okay to develop Trey? Year 3, year 4? Like, what are we saying? It's year 2. This is the year. This was the year.
They promised us, the front office, John Lynch, Jed York, Kyle Shanahan, they promised us, they said it at the press conference, this kid's ready. Might take a year. This is the future. This is our guy. We're all in. We're not drafting him to develop him. We're drafting him to win now with him. There's your win now. He doesn't trust him. Kyle Shanahan, listen, whatever, after last night, after that press conference, I lost respect for Kyle. Whatever, locker room, I'm not in there. I'm not a player. Whatever it is, not my problem. But to stand there after you did the kid dirty like that with a smirk on your face and be like, well, would you rather me do it on 2nd and 4th? Like, bro, you know what you were doing. You know what you were doing.
That audio.
Don't be silly.
I want to pull up that audio in a minute, but I do got a lot of – so, yeah, Kyle, so this morning there was an article. He says he apologized to Trey, this and that, and I guess that probably leaked because he got a bad shake at it. Like, people were ripping him last night, and I'll play the audio. We'll react to that. But I agree. Like, at some point, you got to show some trust. And to me, it just didn't seem like he had a trust. Maybe I'm reading this wrong. Again, we're not back in the locker room. Just get that vibe. It was a weird vibe. So I want to look at this comment here by Bilo. It says, Rod, you're at the game. How did the sideline react when Jimmy G got in the game? Their reports were hyped. Some of the vets, or a few reports said the locker room loved him. Like at first, you got to realize, like, when a guy goes down, it's hard to just, like, jump right in and be excited. Like, I'm sure they all were like, well, it just happened. Player got hurt. But you got to, like, brush it off and jump right in the game and play. And, so you can't be, like, too sad. You can't be too shaken up. You got to keep bouncing back. And Debo, like he says, he goes, it took me a few minutes to kind of get into the game because I was still like, whoa, Trey went down. So I'm sure there was a lot of players shaken up. I do feel like the vets kind of were like, okay, we got Jimmy. This is the guy. He's our leader. We're going to rally behind him. I feel like the team rallied. Jimmy seemed like he was very happy. The players were reacting to him. Like, they celebrated that touchdown run at the end. Everybody was, like, hyping up Jimmy. Locker room seemed pretty happy he was back. So I think I look at it 2 ways. I'm sure they're upset. But at the same time, I think they're also like, yo, this is vindication for Jimmy because the team tried to do him wrong. You know, the front office tried to do him wrong, and now Jimmy's back. And it's like F you front office kind of deal. So I feel like they're happy that Jimmy's back in a sense because they love Jimmy. The team loves Jimmy. Like honestly, I'm sure like a lot of the younger, like I could tell like Brandon Ayuk was definitely shooken up just reading his body language, watching the videos. Aaron Banks, a lot of those younger guys were like, man, Trey's our guy. They can relate to him. But I do feel like the veterans, their vibe was more like, yo, Jimmy's back. I know it sucks for Trey, but we got Jimmy, and I know he's going to lead us. Like some of these guys may not have a lot more years left, and I think they feel that Jimmy can take them all the way. So I feel like some of them, yeah, you're right. Like maybe maybe their mind is like, okay, the training wheels are off. Because Trey Lance was still being that young guy developing, like C-Mac says, he was the baby, right? They were babying him. And maybe they're like, okay, we don't have to worry about babysitting and we can do what we got to do. That's kind of the vibe I got from some of these players. But I genuinely think that they were upset. You know, they did talk about it in the locker room and they were like, man, Trey's, you know, our guy. But one thing I want to say, I'm not trying to create any speculation or controversy or drama. This is just me looking at trends. I've been in social media for years and I look at social media trends. There was only one player that messaged Trey Lance about his injury last night, and I posted it. It was Talanoa Hufanga, the only player, and he had a big conference about it. He was on the locker room talk. The only player that posted something in his Instagram story was Talanoa Hufanga, like, yo, prayers up, God love you, or whatever he said. And the only other player, not an active player, was Patrick Willis. Those are the only guys that actually posted about Trey Lance. You know, usually a guy goes down and there's like all these posts, prayers up, da 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 da. I know it's small. It does show me a little something, you know, and I know Kittle did post something on his story, but it was like first day starts today. I didn't really.
Yeah.
That
You suck. Good luck, buddy.
Yeah.
Move
Yeah. Good
over.
luck, Chuck.
I'm not blocking for you.
Hufanga,
I'll be back next week now that Jimmy's here.
Yeah, Hufanga definitely was the only guy I saw that posted that about Trey and Patrick Willis, like I said. So yeah, but Kittle, yeah, I know everybody in the comments, well, Kittle did too, but he says, oh, first day starts today. Like, what's that?
Yeah.
I felt.
See you later, bud.
Yeah, and a lot of the players too, a lot of those guys have been there with Jimmy in a Super Bowl run or NFC Championship run, and they love their quarterback, and personal level they're in with Jimmy in the locker room and things like that. So they definitely build a bond with Jimmy, and Jimmy did himself go through a lot. You know what I mean? The shoulder surgery, the NFC Championship where he didn't play so well. Then all of a sudden, couldn't find a trade partner. He doesn't know where his career is at, where he's going to play, what's going to happen. The Niners are getting rid of him as their franchise guy. And, Jimmy overcame a lot too. And to a position where he came in off the bench yesterday and won a game. So, some of the players are, obviously are going to be attached to Jimmy because they built that bond. And to me, it wasn't any slight to Trey or to me or anything like that. I just feel like those guys have built a relationship with Jimmy over the years. Jimmy's overcame a lot too. He's gone through a lot. So, I'm sure those guys were just as hyped for him too. So where if Trey scored 3 touchdowns yesterday, those guys would be just as hyped.
Yo, shout out to Debo. I did leave him out. He did post on Trey.
Yeah.
He did post the message. So I know some players did today, but I'm saying initially, initial reaction.
Yesterday,
It did feel like I felt like there should have been more initial reactions. I know a lot of them played, and Debo had a great press conference. He said he was broken up, but I'm just saying in general there wasn't a lot. Usually you see a whole bunch pouring out of emotion, but maybe that again it's just me just noticing a trend. Media and I notice these things, but hey, I could be completely wrong and reading this wrong. But hey, the good news is he's gonna make a full recovery and surgery was successful. So I do want to say, shout out to Trey Lance and. This is going to be a crazy season, but at the end of the day, this team is still great. We're still going to win a lot of games. It's a fucking amazing team. It's Victory Monday.
That defense.
Defense is nuts.
Let's shift gears, man, because we can talk about this all day. I'll get back to this because I do want to put up some audio with Colin Cowherd and a couple things like that and Kyle Shanahan, but we've talked about it a lot. I want to move over to this defense, man. This defense was special last night, and kind of going off of what you guys said, if Kyle does leave this team, whatever, I don't think he's going to leave this team at all right now. But maybe you never know. It's going to happen. I would love to promote D'Amico Ryans to head coach.
That's what I would do.
Because D'Amico's the guy
tomorrow.
He's way up. He could be a head coach, man, because we're going to lose him as a head coach eventually. And look at the defense he's put together. You can have D'Amico as head coach if Kyle ever has to leave. I'm not saying get rid of him.
Should.
If Kyle ever had to leave, you put D'Amico as head coach, GM, Adam Peters.
Yeah, that's honestly what. Listen, the some team, whatever it is, maybe it's Seattle, maybe it's the Cardinals if they get knocked out of the playoff contention this year. Some team is gonna make that choice. Probably next year. I would, dude. If I'm Cincinnati or if I'm the Chargers, bro, there's your future. D'Amico Ryans, put Adam Peters as your GM. Done data. Should have done this years ago. I bet you they'd build a roster quicker. You know what I'm saying? Like look what's happening with Miami.
I was just about to say. Yeah.
That dude didn't pick the groceries. That guy got to pick one guy. He said, give me whatever it takes to go get Tyreek Hill. That's it. He got Tyreek Hill and Chase Edmonds. Changed that whole offense around overnight because the players buy into him because he bought into the players. Tua is not his guy. That's not Mike McDaniel's guy. But he came in there and said, listen, bro, I'm going to take the best of what you can do, and I'm going to elevate you. I'm going to make you what you can be. Instead of this, oh, well, you don't fit my system, so I'm going to have to go and pout and boo, boo, boo. Well, my dad's Mike Shanahan. No, this is the guy that we have. Let's make it happen. And Mike McDaniels is doing it overnight. And someone posted, look at the Tyreek Hill move and look at the Devontae Adams move, right? The Raiders went out and got Devontae Adams. They paid him the most money any wide receiver has ever made.
Oh, we got
in
injury
2 games. Sorry,
injury updates.
He's 0-2.
Keep going.
Miami went and got Tyreek Hill. Miami's 2-0. What does that tell you? They both have geniuses as head coach for offensive coordinators, right? Josh McDaniels, maybe the greatest offensive coordinator of all time. And you got Mike McDaniels. Fantastic. Look what they're doing. It is what it is. We're going to see. I think this defense is spectacular. I love the way that D'Amico Ryans adjusts. If you remember last year when in the early season, everyone was all over him because he was blitzing too much. And we didn't have any secondary. We had Dante Johnson back there in our secondary, and he was still blitzing. And then like 3 or 4 games into it, he was like, all right, I'm going to readjust my stuff. No more blitzing. We're going to figure out how to get pressure with 4 down linemen. And we had a good defense last year, even with the injuries. Now this year, he's got a stacked defensive line. The secondary isn't even all there yet.
I was just about to say Jimmy Ward and JV still coming back.
Bro, that's going to be the difference maker. And like that's what's going to be the sad part is if this team does go really, from my perspective, this is me, right? I'm not saying for the Niners, you live your life. But for me, my perspective is this defense is going to carry this team into the playoffs. They're going to do great things. Hopefully we win a Super. Bro, whatever. I'm not thinking that far. But they're going to get carried deep into the playoffs. And at the end of the season, everyone's going to say, isn't Kyle Shanahan a genius?
Yeah, and the defensive line is deep, right? Don't get me wrong. But there were several times yesterday where the defensive line got sacks like Bosa, not because of so much the defensive line, but that back end. That back end was shutting receivers down and, giving time for edge rushers to keep, swim moves and hitting all their moves to get to the quarterback. This back end with the elevation of Hufanga is disgusting. And when Jimmy Ward gets back and JV's here, and you got Mooney Ward and E-Man and Womack, bro, this secondary, if we would have had this secondary in 2019, woo, boy, that definitely would have been a Super Bowl year. But this defense, and you're right, D'Amico Ryans is going – I'm surprised he's still here as our defensive coordinator, and that says a lot about him too. He actually decided to stay in with as his role and, try to, become better in some of his coaching techniques and stuff like that. So that says a lot about him. But yeah, I'm surprised he, stayed, and we got lucky enough that he did stay. He's going to be a head coach next year. If not, I don't know, but he'll definitely be a head coach. This defense, it's unbelievable. It's nuts. And then yesterday, we give an extension to Dre Greenlaw. Dre Greenlaw bounced back yesterday pretty well. Week 1, he had some dumb flags, stuff like that, but he looked pretty good. Got his 2-year extension yesterday. Azeez, Greenlaw, and Fred on the field in the middle. When you get Jimmy Ward back and you got Huff and then the corners, And then on top of that, your bread and butter, the edge rushers, your defensive line. Givens looked nice yesterday up the middle. The defense is stacked at all three levels, and it's exciting. And then, with Ty Davis Price running the ball, he looked pretty good yesterday.
Speaking about Ty Davis Price.
Oh,
no. I got injury. Hold on, let me just post this last one. I'm making that's what I've been doing here.
No. Go ahead and drop the news on us.
Yeah. So according to Kyle Shanahan, they just broke this news. Hold up. Oh man, this is crazy. So
they're gonna have to upgrade Marlon Mack to the roster.
Yeah, most likely. So running back Ty Davis Price suffered a high ankle sprain and is out a few weeks. And tight end Tyler Kroft suffered a sprained MCL, is out a few weeks.
Sick.
Well, Kittle will be back. Damn, Ty Davis Price. That's going to be what's that? 2 to 3 weeks? Maybe 3 to 4?
To be honest with you,
weeks.
I mean,
damn.
Thank God we got the depth at running back. Not thank God, like good for them. They got all that depth that they needed. And then also Jordan Mason's a killer, bro. He looks real good.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I think as long as Mike Shanahan's run game is the best. It's that cut system. It's old school Bill Walsh stuff. It's the best. It's been around forever. It works. The running backs can interchange as long as the line is moving. I'll give it up to Banks. He looked good. Burford looked good.
Wait. Did Vlad just give it up for Aaron Banks?
Hey. I'll give you the
shout out to Aaron Banks real quick. I gotta go. Shout out to Aaron Banks. He played a good game last night. Hold up, man. Did I post?
Shout out to Vlad for admitting that. Good job, buddy.
Aaron Banks.
I'll give him his flowers.
Yeah.
Aaron Banks had the highest PFF grade out of all the 49ers offensive players. He had an 81.8 pass blocking score. He only had one pressure allowed. He was good, man. And he had this run block again. The Juice touchdown. He paved the way. He just mauled his way. Aaron Banks had a good game. I get it. It's only week 2. But
and it's the Seahawks.
It was a C. But, hey, shout out to Aaron Banks. He looked good. But, so real quick, breaking news. I want to go over this again, that Ty Davis Price had a high ankle sprain, man. We always get high ankle sprains. And then Tyler Kroft sprained MCL. That's tough, bro.
That's tough. Kittle will be back. His boy Jimmy's back. Kittle will be back this week in prime time.
Ty Davis Price was looking really good. But you know what?
Yeah.
The good news is we got Jordan Mason and Kyle Shanahan. I'm reading these tweets as they go. He says that Jordan Mason looked good in practice. That is great because we need him now. We need him more.
Right.
And Marlon Mack will probably get called up.
So then we'll probably acquire another running back for the practice squad.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. Man. Oh, God, man. Tough news. A shout out to my boy, Trey Lance. I can't talk about him enough. I'm happy that he's had a successful surgery, but it's going to be a long road to recovery. I want to pull up some stuff here. You guys, you covered it all. There's a couple things I want to push up here. So Dre Greenlaw, we talked about this. He signed his 2-year extension yesterday before the game. They announced it today. 2 years, close to $19 million. He gets $10 million guaranteed. It's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Yeah. So it's kind of interesting that they extended players like Mitch Wishnowsky and Greenlaw over the last couple of days. So they had extra money to play with ever since Jimmy got extended, and now they're saving some players. I know Bosa's going to be done later in the year, but this kind of goes back to what we were saying earlier in the offseason. If they would have taken care of these matters earlier, we probably could have kept Laken Thompson and DJ Jones. Who knows? But moving forward, it looks like they're going to be proactive this season, and they're going to keep on extending players. I think Emmanuel Mosley's a guy I really want them to extend.
Yeah.
So good last night, clamping up DK.
As usual?
So far. Yeah, as usual. He's DK's dad, man. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Mosley owns that guy. Let's see. There's a couple things I want to get to before we get to the videos I want to post. Talanoa Hufanga, man, this guy is phenomenal. This is a little stat from PFF. He's the second highest graded safety in the NFL after 2 weeks. Minkah Fitzpatrick and Talanoa Hufanga are 1 and 2. That is unbelievable company right there. Hufanga's becoming a star in this league. 2 games. Yeah. And this guy is everywhere. I mean, he's getting PBUs. He's getting interceptions. He is literally all over the place. Talanoa Hufanga is becoming a star right in front of our eyes, man. I'm
One word for that: instinct. His instinct for the ball is second to none.
Yeah, when he was coming out of college, everybody knew he was the real deal, but no one wanted to give him the shot because he didn't run his 40 times
right,
so fast. Yep. He didn't have the numbers weren't there. But when you looked at the film and you watched him play, he was like, wow, this kid's crazy. When we got him in like the 5th round, we were all live. We were all like, I can't believe we got this kid. C-Mac's going nuts. He's like, dude, this kid's from USC. He's bananas. Yeah. Like, how is he still here in the 5th round?
Yeah, and it was his speed too. I literally said he was going to be a hybrid guy. I thought he was going to maybe try out a linebacker because of his speed. But his instinct and ball hawking ability makes up for his him not running a 4.3 or whatever, 4.4. Huff has been amazing. And again, I cannot wait to see Jimmy Ward and Hufanga on the back end of this defense. It is going to be disgusting.
Dude, someone's
I'm excited for but shout out to Tashawn Gibson. He's been holding back.
Rookie.
So we got great. Like the secondary to me has been, man, and it fucking makes me happy because you know me, I'm like the secondary guy.
And
get me a safety, get me a corner, get me a second. I've been so happy watching these guys. Hufanga, Emmanuel Mooney Ward, bro. Mooney Ward. He picked that. That was the funniest shit because it was a trick play. They tried to do a trick play. You know, Pete Carroll tried to be a bag. Mooney Ward just said, "Nah, man, you ain't throwing this on me." Boy, he was locking it up too yesterday. 8 tackles. He had an interception. 2 tackles for loss. Mooney Ward, man, I already love the pick. So he's earning that money. Him and Mosley are a lockdown duo. And this defensive pressure up front is putting, the clamps, or they're putting the pressure on quarterbacks, and it's helping these guys put the clamps on. And when Jimmy Ward comes back, this is going to be the secondary of the year, man. And I'm telling you, interceptions are at a high rate this year. They're going to get a lot of interceptions, man, because they're making plays on the ball. They're tipping passes. Balls are going all over the place. Pause. And they're making big time.
Quick pause.
But yeah, defense, you got to get flowers. And another guy, we've talked about him a lot today, but man, my boy, let me see that. I got the grab. Yeah, here he is. Nick Bosa, man. This guy, highest graded player on the team. 2 sacks, 4 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 5 QB hit. Like, he was everywhere. Nick Bosa, he's defensive player of the year. Like, he is going to attack the rest of the season and get better and better every game. Every game, he looks better. It's crazy. And yesterday, they couldn't double team him because you have Kinlaw in there. You had Drake Jackson, Samson Ebicam. Like, the defense is too strong. They weren't able to double team Nick Bosa, man. That was what I like to see. That's scary because usually they're doubling him up. They couldn't do it yesterday. It was nice to see.
Yeah, he definitely took advantage of 2 rookie tackles for Seattle, and it was great. And it's like you just expect it out of Bosa. At this point, it's like, well, Bosa's going to Bosa. So you look at the stat line, and you're like, yep, there's Bosa again. It's just like guaranteed money. It really is. It's just guaranteed money.
House money, baby. Like Jimmy, he's playing with house money right now. It's just
he makes an extra $350,000 every week.
Every week, bro.
He's balling, bro.
Balling.
And just wait, right around just around the playoffs. I guarantee you they'll extend them. He's gonna get an extension.
100%. So I want to get to this real quick. Some of these videos, man. So all right, we're gonna circle back to the Trey stuff. You guys heard enough. Now I want to play what Colin Cowherd said because this shit really pissed me off. I don't know if you guys heard this. This was like hours after the injury, and he was just going off. I was like, yo, you need to chill, Colin. I'm going to play this video. Wait, let me see. Do I have it?
He did smash and dash his daughter.
Let me grab it here real quick. Let's see. I don't know if I have it on. Oh, okay, I do. Let's see. Okay, let's play this.
Let's totally be honest here. Garoppolo is better now. Garoppolo fits the team now. The team's going to win now. Lance is going to continue not playing. It's not like he's going to pop back next season and suddenly will have solved his issues. He will be coming off a long stretch of inactivity. So if you're the Niners now, as a fan, you feel bad for Trey Lance, but your team's better today. I mean, the Niners today with Jimmy Garoppolo, to me, I feel confident saying, oh, yeah, that's a team that can get to the NFC Championship. None of us were saying that when the day started.
So, did you hear that?
Yep.
Yeah. he's got a vendetta against Trey Lance, man, and it sucks, dude.
Yeah, I mean, you would too if he dated your daughter, right?
Yeah, but come on, man. Like the guy broke his ankle yesterday, and he was out there just, Trey Lance, he's gonna sit back, and Jimmy's better now. Okay, whatever you might think that, but don't do that on the day he broke his ankle. Like that was too soon, man. That's too soon, man. That was ugly.
Yeah.
He was riding Trey last year so hard when he got drafted, man. I just don't get it. I know, and I see Raul the comment. He goes,
Yeah.
Colin just pressed that he ran through his daughter. He probably is, but come on, man.
Wouldn't
that was
you
uncalled for last night. That was the low blow. That was a low blow.
Yeah,
blow.
I mean, listen, it's too early. For sure, it's his job. I get it. Oh, C-Mac. All right, it's his job. I get it, but just from his perspective, if you want to be devil's advocate, he's not totally wrong. And he's not totally wrong on Trey's future either, because what's he going to look like now, 3 years, 4 years removed from football, coming off a major injury, trying to win back a job from Jimmy G, especially if the Niners go deep into the playoffs, you're going to have to win that job back now. So I get where he's coming from. It's just a real bad, it's a dick move to do that.
I get what he said was he didn't say anything wrong. Like he said, he's benching. Trey's on the bench and Jimmy's playing now. Like what he said was, I guess in context was right, but the way he said it, the tone of his voice was kind of like, all right, dude, that was kind of nasty. I got a couple of updates real quick that Kyle Shanahan went through. I want to go through with you guys. C-Max says he got booted off, but hopefully he can come back on. I don't know if you could text him, tell him to try to come back on with the link. So we got a couple of updates. Kyle Shanahan said that George Kittle was close to playing Sunday, but he's glad the 49ers were able to save him and still win. This is what he says. He says, I think he could have got through it. I'm very glad with the decision we made and should give him a better chance to go this week. And that's what he says on George Kittle, that he was glad he sat out and he has a better chance to go in this week. Kyle Shanahan also says there's not just a store where you go and get quarterbacks. Same with running backs, per Kyle Shanahan. And let's see what else he says. That was pretty much it. He did say that. Oh, this is another important note. Kyle Shanahan says that the 49ers will definitely bring in a quarterback for the practice squad to be the number 3 guy behind Jimmy Garoppolo and Brock Purdy. So.
Yeah, of course. I mean, they have to. The whole thing was the 3 quarterbacks. They'll have to bring somebody in.
Yeah, makes sense.
It's just the issues that we're going to see, man. We're going to see this unfold over the next 12, 18 months. I don't know if the kid's going to come back. There's people saying Trey Lance is still the future. No doubt.
Of course.
Of course there's doubt. What do you what? You don't know what he's going to look like when he comes back. You don't know. It's a quarterback that your head coach didn't trust, that's a year removed from playing and coming off a major injury, and he's just going to walk in and be we don't know what he's going to look like. So Kyle's not wrong. He's setting himself, he's not going anywhere. The organization isn't going to fire him. He's going to sit here. We'll see what happens over the next few years. Maybe this team gets a fire lit under it and they win a Super Bowl this year. They could. They're that talented. It could happen. But do you feel good about yourself still? I don't know how to who's the idiot? Somebody messed up and no one's gonna get in trouble for it. And the only one's gonna get in trouble is Trey Lance's career. You threw away 3 first-round picks. You blew the way you developed them. You didn't trade what it is what it is. It is what it is. We got to move on.
At this point, we just have to hope he gets better, man. And
yeah, that's it. And hopefully we win a Super Bowl this year. Hopefully they win a Super Bowl. Hopefully it's okay.
Yeah, I hope so.
This defense is that good.
This defense is good, but we can't keep getting these injuries. Like today, TDP. I mean, the Tyler Kroft injury, whatever. It sucks though, because you don't want to lose your depth. Because if you lose more tight ends like Ross Dwelly and Kittle, if they get hurt, you got somebody else. The tight end Price injury sucks, man, because he's a rookie. Yeah. He looked good yesterday, and then now he got another injury.
And then honestly, let's be honest. What are the chances Kittle gets another hospital pass this year? It happens a lot.
I just hope that the guy like Jordan Mason comes in and doesn't get hurt. But we've said this before. Like Kyle goes through running backs like crazy, dude. It's like crazy how he goes through running backs.
Yeah.
Jordan Mason probably going to get some burn. Marlon Mack now has to get some chance. Somebody in the comments, Arvin says Marlon Mack, run back 1, RB2 with TDP injury. I think right now he's running back 2, 3, depending on if Mason gets called up to play a little bit more, because Kyle said he looks good in practice. Then you also have to realize that Jeff Wilson looked good on a Sunday. So he's going to continue to ride Jeff Wilson until the wheels fall off. And we'll see, man. These running backs they get just blasted through his system. And I feel bad. Ty Davis Price, rookie, 3rd round pick. Last year, Trey Sermon, 3rd round pick, rookie, injured. It's not good, man.
Yeah. And it's like Elijah. How's he going to come back? How's he going to look when he comes back week 8? Like, I don't like
MCL sprain. That injury.
And what we're gonna do? We're just gonna ask him to step right back in. Like, we're gonna see how everything goes. They're gonna spread it out more. I'm assuming they're gonna run the ball a ton more now that Jimmy's back. But at the same time, you don't know because he was letting them rip. Last night he was letting them throw all over the field. So we'll see how it goes. This week we have high altitude. They have to travel to Denver. And what?
Yeah, it's gonna be rough.
Come on.
It's a tough season. 17 games. You can't win them all, and you got to stay healthy. But again, they did do a good job of adding depth. Like, we have players that can step in, but when the depth gets hurt, that's when it's a bad thing. So hopefully, I mean, again, they won last night, and the defense looks good, and I'm happy about that. But moving forward, they have to continue to play at a high level because eventually they're going to get burned out. They're going to get tired. Players get tired. Surprise, newsflash. These players get tired at times. And they're going to make mistakes. So hopefully they stay the course. I'm really impressed with the defense, though, man. Hufanga, Bosa. I mean, man, I can't talk about the defense enough. Like, I think, and it sucks because the defensive performance was overshadowed with how the ending of this game was with the Trey Lance injury. Like, it really was overshadowed, and it's kind of a tough break. The whole game was overshadowed. Like, you lose one of your young star players, your franchise quarterback that you traded up for, and you had a good performance overall, but we can't even be happy. Like today, I do feel like, okay, man, we got to build upon this. But yeah, yesterday after the game, I was just dejected. Their fans oh yeah, we got to win. And I'm like, we lost Trey Lance, man. So I was heartbroken for Trey, because I know how much the team invested in him. So, but hey, we got to keep our heads up. This is a tough game. Everybody gets hurt, or people get hurt in this sport. We've been through it before. Nick Bosa, Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, every year we get tons of players hurt. This is a weird little stat I want to throw out there. This is kind of a weird shit I noticed.
Before you do, I'm gonna jump out. I gotta get running.
Yeah,
but I appreciate you very much, bro. I'll see you soon.
Hey, thanks for hopping in, Vlad. Always appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, love you. So I got a weird little stat I want to say. So check this. This is weird. Okay, Jimmy Garoppolo, first year with the Niners, wins 5 games. Everybody's hyped up. He leaves, right? Or he doesn't leave. The next season he gets the big contract extension in the offseason, and year 2 tears his ACL. Year 2 he tears his ACL of his tenure with the Niners. Sucks. Nick Bosa, year 1, defensive player of the year. Defensive player of the year. Defensive rookie of the year. Defensive rookie of the year. Right? He gets rookie of the year. Second year, tears his ACL. Deebo Samuel, first year, great rookie season. Amazing. We're like, oh my God, Deebo's the future. Second year, he breaks his foot. Trey Lance, first year in the team, and he's the rookie. He's learning. Number 3 pick in the NFL draft. Second year, fractures his ankle. It's the second year curse. It's weird. It's the second year curse. It's something I noticed. I was like, what the heck? Second year curse. You got Jimmy Garoppolo, second year, tears the ACL. Nick Bosa, second year, tears the ACL. Deebo Samuel, second year, breaks the foot. Trey Lance, second year, breaks the foot. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird, man. This team has a lot of adversity. It happens. It happens to this team. It's bad luck, man. It's bad luck. It's the second year curse. It's weird. I don't. I'm not saying we should let our rookies sit out the second year. It's just weird. It just feels like this team is like bad luck, man. Bad luck follows us. But we got to rise above it. The point is we got to rise above this, you know? Like, this shit happens to us every single year. Every year. My man Raphael says, like and subscribe, everyone. Appreciate you. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the page. Hit that like button. We've been getting a lot of people in these chats lately. A lot of eyes. 114. We had like 300 people in last night. Hit that like button. Help me out. Hit that like button. I appreciate all the support. My man, the young Montana. This is a good comment. It's the pressure from the team and the fan. There's so much pressure on these guys. Like, we all want them to win a Super Bowl. How many times do you talk to your fellow Niner faithful, and every time you talk to them, you probably bring up at some point in the conversation, we got to win a Super Bowl. Got to win a Super Bowl. Got to win a Super Bowl. There's a lot of expectations on this team. So definitely a lot of expectations on this team. The young Montana says that Trey was under all that pressure. Yeah, he's been under pressure all season, man. And that's why I feel so bad for Trey, because he was under a mountain of pressure all off season already. And then coming into this game, the pressure was at an all-time high. We had all the stuff all week. I mean, the media was coming for Trey's neck. And then this injury happened. It was like, there's no good time for an injury like this, but this was the worst time. This was the worst time for Trey to get hurt. So, TY says the NFC is very weak. Honestly, everyone looks bad. I feel like we can get a first. I do think that we can still win this NFC or win the division. Like, at this point, the team is still great. Like, that's the thing. I feel like they're going to do great things. It's going to be a hell of a season. I still think we can go very far. We have Jimmy who can take this team and win games. He's done it before. As a solid defense. There's a formula that this team has, and they're a family. They're going to win games. It's just a weird vibe now. And I don't know, man. I do feel like a cloud is there with Trey. But my prayers are with Trey, and I want him to get better. Debtopia. Pressure makes diamonds and bust pipes. Which will we do? Hopefully we make diamonds. I don't want to bust any pipes, but we'll see what happens. Dominic A., how confident are you in Jimmy? Out of a 1 out of a 10? I mean, I'm confident he can get us to the playoffs. About a 8.5, 9 out of 10. I'm very confident in that. But how confident am I after that? My confidence meter goes down to maybe 6 out of 10, because we've never been able to go all the way. We've made it so close, Super Bowl, and then we lost. But it's not just Jimmy. It's everybody associated with this team. It's Kyle Shanahan. Can he win the big one? Can he do the things to finish out a game? If we're up 10 points, if we're up 17 points in a big game, can Kyle Shanahan put the game away? Can he make the right decisions? Can this team be disciplined enough? So 100%, 9 out of 10, I think we make the playoffs. But after that, how far can we go? A lot of factors. Playoffs is different than the regular season. So, yeah. At the end of the day, though, we won the game yesterday. It's Victory Monday, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. There's a couple of football games coming on now. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my Monday, and I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Shout out to Vlad. Shout out to C-Mac for hopping in the live today. It's always good when the Quad Box boys jump in with me. It's fun. We all share our opinions. We all have different thoughts. Some of you guys agree. Some of you guys don't agree, but that's what we do. You know the vibes. I appreciate you so much. Hit the like button, and I can't thank you guys enough for how much support you've given me over the years. So keep it up. Let's go. Bang, bang. Nana gang. I hope you guys have a good one. Appreciate you. Let's get it. And also, man, we're going to be wearing this Trey Lance jersey the rest of the year for Trey. I'm going to be wearing Trey's jersey on game days. That's it, man. This season's for Trey. That's my boy. That's my dog. I'm going to be wearing Trey Lance jersey every Sunday, man. We winning for Trey. Bless up, Trey. I love you so much, man. Prayers up. Let's get that ankle healed up. We love you, Trey. Nothing but love, baby.